Good morning, everybody. Today I am going to show you how I made this little gift card holder in the shape of a Christmas stocking made from vintage illustrations. And the materials that you'll need for this is a glue stick, some cardstock, a vintage illustration, a Christmas illustration, or anything else you'd like, construction paper, white felt, some red ribbon or whatever color you want, needle and thread right here, paper clips, just a couple paper clips, and some scissors. Oh yes, and an X-Acto knife, pencil I said. And those are the things that you'll need. And then if you want some other kinds of trim that you might want to put on top of the stocking, like this. I didn't want to put it because it would hide Santa's face on this one, but so I just put the felt. Other examples of illustrations. This is Santa and sitting reading a book to children. This is just a winter scene. And this is from a children's book of, a little kid in the bed, there's snow in the window. And he's in bed waiting for Santa. And I have these others here. Is it more of the winter scene? Here's a little scene. This one didn't fit. It should be at least 7 by 7, the picture. And here's one of from a children's book, a little bird. So those are some ideas that you can use to make your little stocking. So let's get to it. I'm going to put these things aside. And the first thing you want to do is to draw a stocking on your cardstock. This square is, it's about 7 by 7. And just so you know, down below I will have the instructions and also the template pieces for you to print out, and you can cut them out. So I traced the stocking on my cardstock, and this part of it you can just discard or use for something else, but you can just get rid of that because this is the template that you're going to want to use. And the reason you want this is so that you can take your vintage illustration and you can put it around, find where you'd like to cut your stocking, what part of the picture you want to show up in your stocking. And I'd say I like that right there. Yeah, I wanted to show the tree in this. I know I'm going to hide the little girl is sitting down there, but this will be good, I think. Yeah, that's good. Then you can take your pencil and just trace around the template. And cut your stocking out. Now this is a little difficult to see because this is gray and the pencil is gray, but I can see it. And it's a stocking. It doesn't have to be perfect, just as long as it resembles a stocking, right? Yeah. Okay. Now, when you use paper, I wouldn't use something from a magazine unless you reinforce it with some cardstock or heavier paper, because the magazine is just going to tear, a page from a magazine, unless it's, got heavy duty pages. So I would, this is from a book, an old book, and the pages are pretty sturdy. So I don't have to back it with anything. Backing it, I mean, just cut out a duplicate of these out of whatever paper, even construction paper, and gluing it together to make it stiffer. Here, now I've got my stocking. And I want to cut one out of this construction paper. This construction paper is really different. It had like these colors in it. I've never seen construction paper like that before, but anyways, it's something I had. So you want to do the opposite side. If you cut this way, then you're going to get that. I want this side, so I'm going to cut it this way. Trace around. You can use, doesn't have to be construction paper either. It can be scrapbooking paper, anything you like. Now I'm going to be sewing this together by hand with a needle and thread, but you can certainly use your sewing machine. And that's how it's going to be fit together like that, with a little pocket. All right, I need that paper to cut out a toe and heel. Cut it out of my original. Then you take your heel and your toe and you glue them in place onto the stocking using a glue stick. These are so easy to make. You can make a bunch of them and hang them on your tree. Yeah. Where's the cup? Here it is. Alrighty. And then you take the two stockings and wrong side to wrong side. And you clip them together with your paper clips. And you take your needle and thread, and you can use any color. Today I'm using, looks like black. It just happened to be whatever was in my pin cushion. And you just sew it up. And your knot, put a knot in the end. Your knot's going to be hidden by the trim, so don't worry about where it goes. But what you want to do, I don't know, I'd say you're a little less than 1/4 of an inch away from the edge. And what I do, so that it holds it together at the top, is I put my needle in through about 1/4 of an inch down to the back, then loop back up into that hole again. And this is a good reason why you don't want to use a magazine page, because it will just tear. So then I flipped it around the top of the stocking like that, and just put a stitch up there, if you can see that. And then you just go around. All around, leaving the top part open. There we go. So now we have our stocking that's open on the edge like that. The last thing we're going to do is put some trim, or not this, actually it's not the last thing, put some trim along the top, and that piece, and I have it in my instructions, is 5/8 of an inch by 5 3/4 inches long. So I'm actually not going to measure it out. I mean, it's right here. I'm just going to go ahead and, for the video's sake, I'm not measuring it. I'm just winging it. Straighten the edge a little bit. And that should fit on the top, and then come around and fit on the back of it like that. So you want to place some glue at the top of your stocking. And center this, find the center, and center it right on the stocking, covering your threads, your loose threads, like that, and then turn it over to the back and add glue there. Stick that down like that. Like that. And make sure that you did not glue your stocking together so there's no opening. Like that. Then we can make a ribbon for it. So we take our piece of ribbon, here it is, and I made the ends a little bit decorative. All I did was cut them on an angle to make the point. And you cross them over at the end like that. Place it on the seam in the back so it hides the seam. Now you can either staple this or sew it down, and I am going to sew it down. I did put a knot. I need to put a knot at the end of my thread. And all you need is just a couple of stitches. Now make sure you don't sew all the way through your stocking. You just want to go on the back piece. Like that. And just one more stitch. I just did a couple stitches just to hold it in place. And I didn't really even make a knot on the inside. I just cut my thread. And that's it. You have your stocking. So I hope you enjoyed this little video. Like I said, you can make all kinds of these. I made this one, and I started making this one. I haven't finished it yet. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you go ahead and make some for yourself and your family, and you can hang them on your tree. And thank you very much for watching, and please subscribe to my newsletter. It's free, and the newsletter will give you all kinds of other printables and some articles, and also the instructions on how to make these stockings will be going into the December 2021. And thank you very much, and please subscribe and thumbs up and like and share and do all those little things to help me out, and I appreciate it very much. You have a great day, and I will see you soon.